Quadratic equations are also known as a zero product equation, which means you have two values multiplied by each other which have to give you 0 at the end. If we take a simple example, if you have a plus 7 and a minus 2 in brackets equals to 0, you have to go and say that a plus 7 will be equal to 0 or a minus 2 will be equals to 0. Because if either one gives you 0, your answer will be 0. So you can find that a is negative 7 or a is equals to 2. If a is negative 7, your first bracket will become 0, which means the entire equation is 0. And if a is equals to 2, your second bracket will be 0, which means the entire equation will be 0. Another way they can ask it is to use a highest common factor. So they will give you an equation like 2b squared minus 4b equals 0. Then you have to check, what do you have? You can take out a highest common factor, which is 2b. So you take out 2b as a highest common factor. For your first one, b is left. For your second term, you have supposed to be 2. You have 2 left as an answer. So for 2b, you have b equals to 0 to make the entire number 0. And you also have b minus 2 equal to 0, which leaves b as 2. If you check and substitute each one, you will get 0 for your final answer. The most known way of writing a quadratic equation is with a square. So you will have a trinomial equal to 0. It always has to be squared, x constant. If you have it in this form, you can factorize using trinomials. The cross product method is the fastest way to do it. So you check factors of your first term and factors of your last term. So factors of your first term is 1 and 1. And the factors of your last term are 1 and 36, 2 and 18, 3 and 12, 4 and 9, 6 and 6. Using those, you have to check how can you find your middle term of negative 15. Usually it's the best to start in the middle and work your way upwards from the ones closest to each other towards those further away from each other. But 3 plus 2 is 5, so we start with 3 and 12. Write them underneath each other and you multiply over cross. So 1 times 3, answer next to it is 3. 1 times 12 is 12. You want negative 15, so you have negative 15, and then you check. How can you get that using 3 and 12? If you have negative 3 minus 12, you get negative 15, which is what you want. So your negative for your 3 goes forward, and for your 12, your sign goes forward. This becomes your brackets that you use. Remember to use your x's. So you have x minus 3 and x minus 12 equal to 0. Then again you say x minus 3 is equal to 0 or x minus 12 is equal to 0, and you solve. This is the standard form of any quadratic equation. It has to be trinomial equal to 0. It always has to equal 0 when you start working with quadratic equations.